What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod, and I'm a full-time eBay and Poshmark seller. And in today's video, I want to share 5 tips on how I was able to boost my sales over the past 5 or 6 months. So if you guys are interested in these kind of videos, definitely go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you guys are anything like me, I'm sure you guys watch a lot of YouTube videos and you follow a lot of resellers just to get some hints and tips on how to be successful in the business. And a lot of the tips that I was getting on how to boost sales, I figured they was kind of generic and they didn't really help me, especially at the stage I was at. But I wanted to do some of my own research, and I played around with some different things, and I realized that these 5 things helped boosted my sales, and it even boosted my sales over the summer when sales tend to slow down. So I know what I'm saying is definitely legit, but if you guys have any other tips or tricks, definitely drop it in the comment section so we can keep the conversation going and just help more resellers become more successful in the business. So my first tip is definitely just editing some of my listings. Now, I'm not just saying to just scroll through your listings and change the title and things like that. But what I'm saying is to go into your listings and make sure that you don't have any errors, make sure that you didn't make any wrong measurements, make sure that, you know, the color and the sizes, everything is correct. And also, go ahead and change some of your prices, because sometimes your prices might not be competitive enough, and sometimes your prices might be a little too low compared to other active listings, and that might make buyers a little wary and a little nervous because they might say, why are your stuff so cheap? And there might be something wrong with it. So definitely you want to make sure when you go in to change your listings, you're not just changing the title around, but you're making sure that you have no errors. You're making sure that all your measurements are correct. You're also going to make sure that your pricing is competitive, because you don't want it to be too high and you don't want it to be too low. Now for my next tip, sometimes when I get offers that are too low, I might just decline it if I'm not in the mood for the bullshit. But sometimes what I'll do is instead of just sending a regular counter, I'll message the buyer and just let them know that their offer is a little too low and they need to come up. And sometimes they actually come up and they make a better offer within the message, and then I can reply to that message with an offer and then to close the deal that way. And that's helped with at least 5 or 6 different listings for me. And you know, sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes they just ignore it because they're obviously just trolling. But sometimes those messages have worked for me and I was able to seal the deal and make some extra money. Now this next tip is huge and it's definitely helped grow a lot of my sales. Now in the past, I would get stuff from the thrift store, and if it's about 10 to 20 items, I would list everything in one day. But now I'm starting to just spread my listings out a little more, and instead of listing everything in one day, I kind of spread it out throughout the week. That way I'm always putting up fresh listings to my eBay store, and I think that's probably the #1 thing to help boost sales, is just to keep adding active listings to your eBay store. So instead of just putting 20 things up a day, I might put 10, I might put 5, but every day I'm making sure that I put up brand new listings into my eBay store to just keep things fresh. Now in terms of having fresh listings, one thing that's definitely boosted my sales is making sure that I always check to see if I have any offers that I can activate from my eBay store. So right now I have a basic eBay store, which means I get 250 auctions and 250 fixed listings. And towards the end of the month, I always run out of fixed listings because I hardly ever do auctions. And when I check to see if I have any offers to activate, I usually always have at least 100 or maybe 500 free listings that I can activate to my store. So I always make sure that I'm checking to see if any offers are available, and I always activate them and take advantage of those free listings, because paying 15 cents or even 30 cents per listing definitely adds up, especially when you're adding at least 10 to 15 items to your store every day. Now, last but not least, the #1 thing that's helped me boost my sales and just bring in more money overall was to start using more of my auction listings. Now, I always run out of fixed listings at the end of the month, so sometimes if I don't have any offers to activate, then I might start using some of my auctions, but for the most part, at the end of the month, I'll always end up with at least 240 auction listings that I didn't even use. But lately what I've been doing is just taking advantage of those auction listings and listing a lot of the stuff that I have that's not high margin stuff. Maybe I picked it up for maybe $2 and it sells for 20, but I've been listing those things as an auction. And what I've seen is that sometimes I might have just settled for 20 bucks, but since it's an auction, you know, if somebody's interested, or maybe 2 or 3 different people are interested, they might rise the price up, and then I end up getting, instead of 20 bucks, I might get 25 or maybe even 30. So you definitely want to go ahead and take advantage of some of those auction listings, especially if you have a basic eBay store and you only get 250 fixed listings. Also, when it comes to using auction listings, you want to make sure that you start your auction at a price that you're most comfortable with. So I see a lot of people start their auctions at $1, or maybe they might start it at $10 just to see if they can start some type of competition, and then that same item gets no bids. So what you want to do, like I said, is make sure that you're starting your auction at the price that you're most comfortable with receiving, especially if you only get one bid. So that's all I have for today's video. So I hope that helped. And if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Also, if you got any questions or suggestions for future videos, drop that in the comment section and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. Also, don't forget to drop any hints and tips that you guys might have for me, because I'm always trying to learn more information and just, spread the wealth so that more of us can be successful selling online. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.